Bitcoin had a great move to the upside, but now it is trickling back down. My short-term perspective is slightly changed, but my macro bullish view for Bitcoin is not changed. So I do want to give that disclaimer before jumping into today's content. But you can see that yesterday Bitcoin went all the way up to $109,000, but then saw an initial dip to 106, got a bit of a bounce, and for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 1 hourly candles, we have been seeing a straight decline. So why is this happening? Well, right at the top for Bitcoin last night at approximately 2 a.m. At 2 a.m. Dubai time, Bitcoin does a bit of a triple top here on the 15-minute, creates a bit of a Bart Simpson, but it's not the technical analysis that shows that Bitcoin is about to correct approximately 1% in one singular 15-minute candle. No, it is what President Trump posts over on his social media platform, Truth Social. Now, the most important point or the most important phrase within this post that has the most implication to the market, in my opinion, was the phrase, everyone should evacuate Tehran. So this is what he said. And while Bitcoin saw a full 1.09% correction, because obviously if the president of the US is making such claim, it foreshadows a potential of America being more involved with this war, which US investors or anybody invested in American risk-on assets do not want to see. So following his post exactly on this candle, the markets dump over 1%, small rebound, but then eventually you come back down to the resistance of the ascending triangle. So following that drop, you get a bit of support, you come back up, and at this point, you see US President Trump allegedly saying that he's going to propose negotiations with Iran this week for a ceasefire. And then recently, just about an hour or two ago, President Trump posts over on Truth Social again, saying that this is not true, that he's not reached out to Iran for peace talks in any way, shape, or form. This gives further confirmation to the market that things can get escalated, potentially and hopefully not. And the market is right now sitting at 105.670 And what is going to happen next? Is Bitcoin going to hold the level that we are trading at? What should we do? Should we panic? Should we sell? Should we hedge our positions in any sort of way, or what should we do? Well, right now, again, all of our positions are below where the price action is currently. And I do have a position that is very close to where the price is, which is over on weeks, and that is the CME gap trade at 105.321. So that trade is still in the positive, and I want to leave that position open for now. Because if you look at Bitcoin in the very, very short term, you look at the momentum reversal indicator, which predicted this top here on the 1 hourly time frame perfectly. You can see that we're about to see an MRI bottom here on the 1 hourly candle. And this is referring to the amount of, if you have a constant negative decline or a constant upwards push in price, you're going to have green for bullish continuation. You're going to have green MRI candles. And if you have a constant depreciation in price, after 9 candles of depreciation, following MRI's rules, you're going to get an MRI bottom. So MRI top, MRI bottom. Now that we've declined for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive red candles, I think we can notice a relief rally at least to the 106 region in the immediate short term. What you don't want to see is Bitcoin, well, you fake out everybody, and this is much bigger of a fake out than what usually Bitcoin would do. So you would do a fake out here, then you would come back down, and then you would drop further below. That's something you don't want to see. And when you go to the daily time frame, so zooming out a little bit more, you can notice that we did technically create a lower high. So the reason, even though everything that I've said doesn't sound really good, the reason why I'm not entering into any short position or closing my long positions is, number one, you know about the Wyckoff reaccumulation and the reasons to why I think Bitcoin is looking bullish in the mid to long term. As to the short term, you have the Wyckoff reaccumulation, M2 money supply. Let's forget about all of that for a second, but focus on this bullish pennant. I think it is possible that Bitcoin comes down and retests to this line of support here, once again at 102.754, at which I will be buying Bitcoin. So that is a good level, in my opinion, to be buying more Bitcoin. I think it is definitely possible that Bitcoin comes down to this level, and then bear case scenario is if you dip below that. But for now, we're not going to discuss this because, again, more optimistic than I am pessimistic for Bitcoin's price action. So what you don't want to see is, after seeing a drop here, you don't want to see a continuation. You want to see a bounce, and then at the 70% mark, you continue breaking up. And that is ultimately what I believe will be happening. But don't completely discount a potential drop into the line of support of the bullish pennant. So that is my take on Bitcoin at this moment in time. Chris posted a very nice chart here that is looking at the daily time frame also, and you can redraw. So if we go to the daily time frame, you can redraw lines of support and resistance a little bit more differently. So Chris, he decided to put a support line like this, meaning that the support could be happening at approximately 104.4 instead of 102.7. Therefore, if you're looking to add more to your Bitcoin long positions, right here is also another good level to do it. So if you have an account on Weeks, or if you don't, you can use the link down in the description to sign up to open an account. But I think a drop here can be expected, and then you still retain the bullish pennant and hopefully continue breaking to the upside. If this doesn't hold, then you would be looking at this line of support as a place to find a move downwards and then a continuation back up. So that is my immediate short-term analysis. 15-minute time frame, like I said, expect, or a 1 hourly time frame, you can expect a short-term rally because we've been dropping for quite a bit here, and then you have the head and shoulders pattern forming also on the 1 hourly time frame, which we should now almost be at the target. It is showing a further continuation, and yeah, it's just it's very unfortunate that geopolitical tensions are continuing to escalate. You can look at oil and see that oil prices have surged once more comparatively 24 hours ago, and oil prices surging means that chances of war increase. God forbid, hopefully that doesn't happen, but it looks a bit scary. It does look a bit scary. I think Bitcoin it won't die, but yeah, if things become more devastating, then obviously Bitcoin will be our last point of concern. The Strait of Hormuz is experiencing a little bit of tension. So if you watched my Moonshow video yesterday, or my Moonshow stream yesterday, then you are familiar with the Hormuz Strait. That is where most of the world's oil flows from. And I can demonstrate to you, let's go new project, and we can have a look at where the Hormuz Strait is. So right over here is the Hormuz Strait. This is where most of the world's oil travels from. You have Qatari oil, you have Kuwaiti oil, you have a lot of Saudi oil, UAE oil, Omani oil. These all travel from this strait. And we've had 3 fires on, according to this article, we've had three fires, 3 ships having fire in the Gulf of Oman. And I've heard that they were oil tankers. And yeah, this is just showing potential increased conflict in that part, and maybe the shutting down, God forbid, of the Hormuz Strait. And if that happens, then oil will surge in value, because less oil to go around for everybody means more demand for the price of oil, supply and demand dynamics. But yeah, interesting developments, not good developments. If you're a Bitcoin holder, then, you know, if you have good risk tolerance for a dip, you know, of $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6,000, then you're fine. If you're a investor that has a lot of leverage in the short term, then yeah, I would be mindful of this support and the other one that I mentioned at 104.5 approximately, and 102.5. And if we lose those 2 lines of support, which I don't think will happen, then we can reevaluate. But for now, I'm still bullish. 100% of our positions are still profitable, and we will remain profitable until about $92,000 to $93,000. So not concerned, and hoping for the best. If you want a more detailed analysis, then you can stay tuned for tonight's Moon Show. But with that said, guys, Yeah, it's sad, but we'll have to find out what happens and how things develop in the upcoming few days and hours to come. So guys, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video very soon. As always, guys, bye bye.